You know what? This is one of the reasons I don't like insurance. I have a question for you. Does insurance companies hate women?
I think
they what?
Hate fat people. One of the things that we don't prepare for is sickness. And sickness can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely can.
The way I like to look at it is like, if you were to die today or tomorrow, the reality is that your salary is missing. Your contribution to that child's life is missing. Being in the insurance industry and being a Bahamian and being a Black person, we don't like to...
And it would have been mine if it hadn't been for those meddling kids.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Full Gambit podcast. Man, I was going to do a show, and I still may bring it up throughout this particular episode, about island time and tardiness and why people do not respect professionals' time. Like, I don't know what else to say. I am joined here today by a guest that threw me to the wayside a week or so ago. I gave a reminder as a professional, and I said, hey, we're shooting today at XYZ time. And I sat here like a good little boy last week. No, that was 2 weeks ago, and I waited. And I was like, what's going on? I was starting to get worried. And then I called, and I got this very sleepy voice. Jay, I fall asleep. What? Like, oh man, I was in the sun all day.
This is powerful.
Tell me I lied.
In my defense.
No. I asked you a simple question. Am I lying?
You are not lying.
The Bahamian term is never lie. But in any event, this is a good friend of mine. We are going to talk about insurance. We're going to talk about personal branding. We're going to get into some cultural stuff, tardiness and lateness and being professional and online branding, because she is one of those persons that took a very, you would think begging for charity is an ugly job or looked at as an ugly job. People don't like insurance agents. So you took something and you made it beautiful, and I appreciate and I respect what it is that you do, because you do good work.
Thank you.
So without further ado, the insurance girl. Where did you come up with that aspect? Like, obviously you're a woman, right? Like, we don't have to debate that.
No. Well, no. There's no debate. I can pull out my birth certificate.
I was going to ask you what else you're going to pull out just now, but anyway. No, so insurance girl, like, where did that come from? Like, walk me through it.
Honestly, it just came to me one day. You always hear someone talk about, the policy man or whatever have you.
The policy man?
Yeah,
I think it's a number money.
No, the policy man. If you're a baby, you've heard about the policy man. The policy man has come by, collect your premiums and what have you. And I wanted something that was a little bit more unique to me, and something, a bit more youthful and fresh.
So you went on Instagram and it's like, selfie time. Hey, baby, I'm selling insurance.
I guess, as a matter, I guess.
Did you actually do the selfie time?
No, I didn't. Anyone that knows me knows I'm not really someone that likes to be in front of the camera or be at the forefront of things. But I just.
But you're fairly intelligent. You're kind of cute. It is what it is. Why are you camera shy?
I can't explain it. I just don't like to be in front of the camera.
But as an insurance agent, you have to be in front of people all the time.
I know. It's literally a conundrum. It's like a catch-22. Like, oh my God, this is the job that I chose to go behind. And, I came out of marketing prior to this, which is wild. Even back then, those...
I remember
those days,
those interviews
where Empress used to catch me on the sly. I'd be in the background thinking like, I'm not going to be on the radio today.
Nope, Marissa, I remember she used to like put you right on the spot. It was fun and it was good. So jumping from marketing to this, what's the big difference?
It's the one-on-one aspect. With marketing, you catch a broader audience. I didn't necessarily have to be at the forefront as much. I could always work behind the scenes and make sure things get to the audience properly. But with sales, I have to actually touch a person one-on-one, get a message across. So with my marketing skills, I guess I was able to use a lot of what I learned in that public relations part of it to reach a broader audience and get a message across and bring it into a more one-on-one level to sell them a product. And I don't really think it's selling a product. It's really more giving information and so that you can make a more informed decision. I always tell people, you don't have to buy with me. I just want to make sure that, you are more informed about what is available out there for you.
So what type of policies do you actually sell?
Everything.
You sell everything. That sounds very ominous. Like,
I know.
I sell everything.
It's everything, literally. Whether it's general insurance encompasses your car insurance, your home insurance, your contractors all risk, your liability. Even if you want to insure your jewelry, I can get you covered with that.
So in case someone say, "Oh, but you have this big pendant on, let me snatch that," you could get that covered.
Yeah, that is insurable. So that is an option out there for you. And you guys, you spend all this money on wedding rings. I know of someone who
spending money on wedding rings. I mean, I didn't spend a whole bag. I spent a little something. I was fortunate. My wife is not very tingsy.
Right.
And she loves purple. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get this stone purple and that's going to be it. And there's like,
but
done.
Guess what? You could get that insured if that's something that you wanted.
No.
It's insurable. I'm just letting you know.
If she loses it, I'll buy it again.
Well, obviously you didn't spend that much money because
hold on now.
Your bag long. I mean, your money long.
Don't start that wrong here. So all I'm saying is it's important to me that she is happy and she's comfortable. So if for some reason she would lose it or if it got stolen,
if your money long, just say your money long.
I'll replace it. No, I'm not. You're setting me up around people's background here. I know how Bahamians go.
But yes, that is something that we ensure. But most importantly, my main goal is to make sure people, Bahamians especially, insure themselves, insure their retirement. That's something that I'm more.
Now, see, you said the R word, and that's a big problem for me. Wow. I don't believe in retirement. I believe that we've been, it's been curated. I think we've been bamboozled. Mm-hmm. I think we've been run amok, psyoped into thinking that we need to work hard for X amount of organizations, for X amount of time. And at that particular golden hour, at 65, we ride off in the sunset with a little lump sum and we get some sort of pension afterwards. And when you come to realize it, after quote unquote retirement, you're pretty much dead. Because like people, their mentality goes and they become less sharp. I see a lot of people fighting back against it now. But I don't believe in retirement. I believe I will continue to work and invest and be a part of creative stuff until I die. I don't plan to retire. I plan to make money and have an easier life now. That's the plan.
And see, I can respect that, but at least you have a plan. A lot of, I would say that our average Bahamian does not have a plan. Our average Bahamian believes in that, all right, I graduate from high school, I get a job in either Atlantis or in government. I work for them for a period of time. And then when I reach the age of 65, I get a couple of dollars and a pension to carry me on for the rest of my life. So
pension ain't much, bro.
It is not much. And a lot of people don't know this, but NIB was never intended to be our pension. NIB was always intended to be a supplement to our actual pension. Where we fell off is that, instead of us actually developing our pension plans or developing our retirement funding, we just relied on companies and hoping that they put something aside.
You can't rely on capitalists. Capitalists don't give a shit about you.
They don't.
They don't. And it's unfortunate. But I think let's not let NIB off the hook. Okay? Let's not let them off the hook because they have done some weird things since their establishment. I think they've kind of lost their mission. And I want to have someone from NIB to kind of talk about it because I have some proposals for them. I want to switch things around. Like I said in the previous podcast, I would be the minister of Fix-It. And I do have a plan for, a lot of people won't like it, but it'll be in your best benefit if you adopt my plan.
Yeah, but again, like I said, NIB was never intended to be your final pension product. It was always supposed to be your supplement. I mean, I think the highest you can get from NIB a month, someone can correct me on this, but I think it's somewhere around maybe $600 or $700 a month.
Absolute garbage.
In today's time,
it's absolute garbage.
Cannot even pay your light bill.
Wait, I've seen personally some light bills out there. Lord, jeez, it's rent.
Right. So my goal, honestly, is to make sure people know that there are other options out there. You don't have to rely on a company just to set aside something for your retirement purposes. There's so many other vehicles to get you to your end goal. The point is just to make sure you know what your end goal is, or at least get you close enough to it.
So do you when in your consultations you be like, okay, hey, this is where you're at. You're a, let's say, 300, 320 a week worker. You're just starting out. This is what you could start with, and we could level you up from there. Do you do those type of consultations?
Of course.
Are you looking at it for yourself, or are you looking at it for the client?
Honestly, it's a win-win situation because if you do buy from me, then obviously I do win. But honestly, I may be a little bit more benevolent, but I do prefer that you win because when it comes to me, I've seen both sides of the coin. I've seen where, what happens when you don't put aside for that rainy day. And I've seen what happens when you do put aside for that rainy day. So I actually have more experiences to tell you, okay, if you don't do this, this is really what can happen because I've seen it in my own family. I've seen it even as close to my own parents, what could happen if you don't put something aside for that rainy day. And it's unfortunate because my family is not just, it's basically a normal thing. A lot of people don't think that, hey, one day I'm going to retire, but one of the realities that people have to understand is, yes, you are healthy now. And you think, you're strong enough to carry on for a long period of time. But one of the things that, we don't prepare for is sickness. And sickness can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely can.
And what you don't understand, and this is why I think insurance is absolutely imperative, is that you can be the most healthy person today, walk outside and be hit with a stroke and everything that you've been working so hard for is wiped away. And yes, you were saving hard for years to get your income to a certain level, to get your savings at a certain level. But one bad incident can wipe away your entire savings. It can wipe away everything that you've worked so hard for. And I've actually seen that happen. That is something that is personal to me. So that's one of the things where I say it's a necessary evil. I mean,
can we just say it's a necessity? I don't like the terminology necessary evil because evil should not be necessary.
No, it isn't. But
is it because people look at insurance and banking with, I guess, with a squint? Like
it is a stigma. There is a stigma behind it. I don't necessarily like banks, but I understand that I need banks in order to get certain things done. I don't necessarily like certain government services, but I need them in order to get certain things done. So people may not like the idea of insurance, but you can't deny that you need it in order to get certain things done.
Okay, I like that. So what's your journey been like? How long have you been an insurance agent or an insurance specialist? I'm sorry. Because you have some awards behind your name.
I do. I've been in the business, let's say this January 15th would make 6 years. January 15th, 2024 would make 6 years in the business.
And there is this thing because when insurance agents move companies, you see their face in the paper and this person no longer does business on behalf of this company. Don't give them your money. Do they like what's the prerequisite to become an insurance agent? Do they train you guys up? Like, what like, because I know insurance people. I know people in claims. I know underwriters. Obviously, I know you and a couple agents and some big wigs. And there's a lot of training that goes on that people I don't think see or realize. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Okay, so to become an insurance agent, you basically have to have a high school diploma. You have to have a clean police record, obviously.
No felons. No felons, no charges.
No felons. You also have to be a person of good standing in the community.
Okay, and who's vetting that? who tells you that you're a good standing citizen?
Well, they do background checks.
Okay.
On every agent. You also have to take.
So no ghetto people in insurance?
I wouldn't say that because upstanding persons can come from every background.
Okay, cool. I like that.
But you do have to basically take an exam. You have to study. It is an extensive exam because I'll say this: insurance is one of the most difficult things to understand. So if you are able to pass the exam and become an insurance agent, you're not a dumb person.
Okay, so you have to have a high level of intelligence and understanding.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So what happens when after you pass that initial exam and they slap agent on you? What happens next? What is required of you? What does it pay like?
Well, you go through a training process where you go there and you meet people and you try to encourage them to close sales and buy insurance from you. The entire idea behind an agent is that you're successful in closing sales. But
you have to be a closer.
Yeah, you have to be a closer. But on the flip side, you also have to be knowledgeable about the products. You have to be knowledgeable about the laws of the Bahamas, because that's one of the things that isn't really discussed too often when it comes to being an agent. There's something called the Insurance Act.
Mm-hmm.
You have to kind of know that Insurance Act almost extensively so that you can sell products properly to persons.
You can't make promises or certain things.
No. And that's one of the difficulties because in sales, you want to make promises to get the close, but
can't be scummy and gamey.
No.
You have to be able to fulfill whatever that contract says.
Right. So I think there was a discussion in my office the other day about selling a child $500,000 worth of insurance.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There is.
Why?
Why does a child need $500,000 worth of life insurance?
Wealth, generational
So
wealth.
you plan on killing that child?
No.
Then why would they need a $500,000 worth of insurance?
I don't know. Maybe they'll grow up and be.
Then when they get older and they're
hold on. So seriously, hold on. Whoa. Wait a minute. So I understand that life happens fast,
right?
And I have the means to put my child in a decent insurance that they could take over at 18.
Right. Okay.
I could get it cheap now.
No. Because common misconception is children can only get whole life policies. So the idea of getting something cheap only applies to adults.
Interesting. So, okay. Sorry. I can't get it cheap now. I can get it at the fair market rate that I could afford. And my child takes it over at a certain age. Because you could transfer.
You can transfer ownership, yes.
Right. So I did my due diligence as a father to set my child up.
But the question is going to be, why does the child require that much insurance coverage? At
Because
the
we
age-
like things.
Yeah, but are you trying to kill your child?
But something can happen at any
Something
time.
can happen, but if something happened, you're not trying to profit off your child.
Why not?
Then why? That's exactly why you don't want to. For children, it's not necessary. For an adult, maybe, because an adult is
So
bringing
what's the
something
limit?
to the table.
So what's the limit?
Honestly, the limit is technically 50% of what the parent has. But I will honestly say no respectable company will go more than maybe I say $150,000 worth of coverage for a child.
Wow. Okay. So everybody else could put and bet on the lifespan
Mm-hmm.
of a person. But me saying life is real, anything could happen.
I agree.
And if something was to happen, whoever survives, I would like for them to be well taken care of.
Okay. But why does it have to be your child?
Because if I am 5, I believe in equality.
No.
If I'm 5,
no,
my
no.
wife 5, my child could be 5, and my other child could be 5.
No.
So if something was to happen to us, someone get a little half or $1 million.
No.
I just go on planes. We could have boating accidents. We could have car.
But your child contributes no insurable interest to you other than being your child. You are the one that are paying the bills.
Right.
Your child doesn't pay any bills.
She's a joy in my life.
Yeah, but she doesn't pay any bills.
She
So
does.
If she loses her life, the only thing that will be lost is your emotional attachment. It's not like she contributes to paying the light bill, the cable bill, or anything else.
Hey, my child is a producer. My child helps produce this podcast. She has credit.
Okay, but she
comes up with ideas all the time.
then that's child labor.
Okay, but hold on. You know what? This is one of the reasons I don't like insurance. They put limits. Like, it doesn't matter. We live in a capitalistic society.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know it's a red flag. It's a red flag. However, if I have the means, if I have no criminal record, I have no intent, there should be nothing wrong. If I choose to pay that premium,
Then put that money aside into interest-bearing account. That's not.
I can borrow against that later.
Okay.
Can I?
What, the interest-bearing
On
account?
my child. The insurance on my child. Can I borrow against it?
Certain policies, yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'm setting up to borrow against it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
So, no. What I'm saying, because children graduate on average in the Bahamas at 16. Maybe I want to borrow against it for college.
Okay, but what I'm saying is...
So why y'all gonna stop me?
Because it's too much insurance.
No, man. If I have the means, you can't tell me. Now... No.
It's too much insurance. I'm sorry. I'm one of those persons, and forgive me for this, but I truly believe that children should not have a certain amount of insurance. I actually, for me, if you come to me, I'm always going to say, as a parent, you should insure yourself before you insure your child.
I agree with that.
Because to me, I always believe that
You put yourself at more risk. It's more likely that something's going to happen to you
Right.
as opposed to the child.
and if something were to happen to you, what's going to happen to the child's policy? It's not going to get paid.
Maybe I leave it to trust. And the trust pays it. This is why you hate me. I know. I know this is why you hate me, because you're like, this son of a... No, but in all seriousness, and here's the thing, right? I like to look at and do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
I like to find creative ways to generate wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it is a necessity. I'm not going to say necessity or evil. I did my thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I parted ways with it
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't servicing my immediate need.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, let's cash it out.
I know that I did not fight you on that
No, you didn't. You didn't.
because I knew what you were working with.
You know what I'm about. You know
Right.
what it is that I do.
So yeah, I think that's what sets me apart from other agents.
You don't beg and scream.
No, I look at reality. I think things should be more pragmatic as opposed to, being optimistic about certain things. Now, in a couple of years, when you come back to me, and I know that you are going to come back to me.
You cocky now.
Yeah. I know you are going to come back to me. I'll welcome you with open arms, but what you need to accomplish now, then I'm not going to fight you against that.
I am going to cut. She's very cocky. All right, cool. Is there... Okay, so I am 21.
Mm-hmm.
I'm entering the workforce. I'm making okay money. A little above minimum wage, not too great, making some tips.
Mm-hmm.
What policies should I be looking into if I don't have life or medical?
Okay, so that is a very open question because it's always by a case-by-case basis.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone isn't the same.
Okay.
So it's always best to have that conversation with an agent so that you guys can come up with a plan together, because your goals may be different from someone else's goals. And the idea behind an insurance agent is to plan out your future, especially when you're dealing with an agent like me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not a common knowledge thing, but there are different types of agents. You have some agents that are called multi-line, home service agents. They deal with smaller policies, whereas you have ordinary agents, or what we call at my company, lifestyle agents. We deal with the whole lifespan of someone. When you're dealing with someone in my category,
Mm-hmm.
we're looking at your whole lifespan. We're looking at your finances. We're looking at your long-term goals. How do we get to your longer term goals? Because at 21, you may say to me, oh, I'm still looking to go back off to school.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I'm looking at something for you on a long-term basis, I don't want you to have to spend too much money a month. So that could be the difference between spending $17 to $21 a month versus $80 a month. Because if you're done with your schooling and you're now looking to plan your life, you may be looking to settle down, start a family. The conversation that we're going to have is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an open-ended question. It's literally, we have to sit down and have a conversation, because there are different plans that can work for many different purposes. We just have to plan out your future and figure out what it is that you want to accomplish and the timeline that you have to accomplish those goals in.
I have a question for you. And this is something that I personally experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Does insurance companies hate women? Do they hate women? Because
if anything, I think they
what?
Fat people.
That's another conversation.
It's not men or women. I think they hate fat people.
Because here's what I think in a way was discrimination against women.
Mm-hmm.
Women naturally have they can have kids.
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying medical insurance as a woman within a certain jurisdiction, I feel that you should have coverage for what it is that you may have. I don't feel that they should be able to profit off of having option A, B, C, and then because
why are you calling those certain companies?
No, I don't give a shit with them. I don't care. I don't care. If this is foul. I thought it was foul because when we were planning to have our first kid, when I was like, oh yeah, I have medical insurance and this and that, and I said, okay, let's make sure. And she looked into it, and we got derailed almost an entire year because we had to up the policy in order for us to afford to have a kid. And I thought that was horseshit.
Okay. I know I have an idea of, I don't know what happened personally, but I kind of have an idea of what you are speaking to. And this is one of the things, in a way, I hate to say this, but it falls back on you as the consumer.
So it's my wife's fault.
No, it's I don't want to say that.
You can say that. You can say it was Shar's fault.
The reality is,
or it was the employer's fault because that's where she got her insurance from.
Well, okay. This happens to me a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
As an agent, we try to work within your budget.
Okay.
So if you're one of those persons that are hard set against spending over a certain amount, we have to give you something that will give you a lot of what you need, not necessarily all what you want, but a lot of what you need to satisfy what you're willing to pay.
Hold on now. You trying to say that possibly that was a budgetary thing?
Of course it was.
No, it wasn't. Because if I tell you how much she was paying, you was like, what the fuck?
Again, I am aware of that particular plan that you are speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, maybe it was a situation where she would have gotten rated. Maybe. I don't know.
Rated for what?
I don't know. I can't speak to what.
That little slim white galley.
I cannot speak to what was going on back then. I'm not the agent. I can speak to what happened with you and I. But I can say based on the things that you would have said and what
it was a scam. It was a sham.
No, it was not.
No.
It was not.
It was an absolute sham. You, not you personally, the company sold her medical insurance.
No, the agent.
The agent sold her medical insurance. And I personally feel, as a woman, if you should be covered for what is potentially natural occurrences.
But okay.
Right? Everything else is absolute bullshit.
I understand.
So you trying to tell me
be very careful about and hear me out. You will always hear this. Any lawyer who's listening, they can say this. Ignorance is no excuse of the law. And that kind of holds true to everything in life. It's up to you to know what it is that you're buying. And this is one of the things that I always try to explain to my clients. Please read through what it is. Because when you purchase a product from us, we give you a contract. And one of the things as an agent that is supposed to happen is we're supposed to go through that contract with you and make sure that you understand that contract.
Okay.
But I can be honest with you. A lot of times when we go over certain contracts, people are just hearing us wah, 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 wah.
It's boring to them.
It's boring to them because
let's skip to the good part.
Right. So it's up to you it's up to you as a client. You're paying
to do your due diligence.
To do your due diligence.
So Shar, I blame you.
But I am very much aware of the products that you're talking about. And yes, certain
should it change?
No, it's not. It shouldn't because those.
So it should stay the same.
It should, but you just have to understand what it is you're buying into. Now, that particular product, I would not sell to someone of childbearing age because I know that it's not going to benefit them.
Okay, so as a decent human being, you would not offer that product that Shar got.
No, I would not because it's not going to benefit her.
That's all I want to know. So it wasn't Shar's, it was kind of your fault, but the agent who sold it, you're a piece of shit. Okay? So whenever something like that happens and you have to up your policy, does the original agent get a kickback or what is it?
Well,
how does it work? How does the compensation work in insurance? Because it's hot like real estate. Like I know insurance agents and I know a lot of real estate agents. Like something's happening, some real money going around somewhere.
Okay, so the company that I work for, when you're signed with an agent, they're your agent for as long as that agent is with the company. So any new product that you sign on for, that agent is supposed to get the commission off of that. Now, I don't know how it is with the other company. I'm assuming that it is the same straight.
So what happened if once I sign you for life? They don't have that no more?
Yeah, that's basically, well, as long as I'm with the company, you're my client for life.
But if I suppose, hold on. So I give the company 35 years. I write all these policies and the company will continue to get this money from these people. And I retire. I don't get no more money?
No.
What? See?
Well,
So what happens?
That it goes to the
It goes to who?
It goes to the new agent who inherits the business.
So someone could come in and literally inherit your 10 years of work.
That's how it is. It's
No way. Oh, I'd have been salty.
no why.
I build Castle Rock and some piss on who can't sell.
Castle Rock. It's no longer yours. You're no longer at Castle Rock.
Marissa, you try to tell me you would be happy with everybody, someone coming and getting all your hard work?
Well, I think I would have done well enough with my clients to make sure that they're well aware of what it is that they purchase and how to handle themselves. Remember now, I'm a different type of human being. I just want to make sure that you're good.
I honestly thought that once you sign somebody in that life, because it's like a devil contract, right? That's what underwriters do. They make the devil contract and they make you sign in blood ink or whatever.
I thought you said you didn't want to speak of it as an evil. That's what those were your words.
I'm a hypocrite. I change my mind all the time. It is what it is, right? So yeah, so you write your little blood ink, and I really honestly thought that at least the agents of yesteryear, as you sign, you do all this good work, you take that little
commission with you?
Commission into retirement with you.
No.
I thought it was like until you die.
No. Once you leave the company.
So have you ever seen someone's portfolio get divided up between people?
Yeah.
Have you?
I've actually inherited portfolios before.
That's why you don't have a problem with it, because you benefiting off of this.
No, honestly, it's a catch-22 because the way, and I hate to use the word train, but the way I train my clients, I train them in a certain way where if I leave the company, I expect you to keep your policy because the policy is not benefiting me and it's not benefiting the company, it's benefiting you. Whereas in the past, you'll have clients who think, okay, me paying my policy is a benefit to the agent. In a way, yeah, it is benefiting the agent, but it's more beneficial to you.
Because you're covered.
Right. When you die, I'm not going to get a cut. It ain't like you made me the beneficiary. And people legitimately feel like, okay, as if I'm paying my policy, I'm doing a good job by helping this agent. Yeah, in a way you are, but it's in more so you're helping yourself. You're helping your family. You're making sure your family gets that ting when you die.
What is the minimum amount? Speaking of beneficiaries, so we said children can't get $500K. We then had that argument. I understand you.
I ain't writing up no job for no $500K.
I understand you. I understand you. You draw the line at 150. Okay.
I
50%. Jesus Christ. I was trying to help you out, but anyway. What is the minimum an adult should have?
If they have children, I would say whatever, let's say your child is 2 years old, I would say 16 times their annual salary plus maybe for $50,000.
16 times what their annual salary should be.
Plus
50.
Yeah.
So that should just say in a ballpark, $500,000.
I don't know what your annual salary is, and we ain't gonna discuss that on air because you didn't say you ain't want the people.
I'm broke,
and I say your money long.
I'm like damn Dash. I'm a boss. Like I pay other people's bills. I don't pay my own bills. Okay, don't come to me for no fucking money. If you're working for me and adding value, and I paying you for a service, fuck off.
Okay, so let's say your annual salary is, I don't know, let's go with $10,000, and you have a 2-year-old. By law, your 2-year-old is underneath your coverage for 18 years. So that means that child has 16 more years left underneath you. So if your youngest child is 2 years old, 16 times your annual salary would be the amount of coverage you should have. Because if you were to drop dead today or tomorrow, they would miss out on 16 times your annual salary until they're 18. Now, I know
that's actually not a bad calculation. So whatever their age is, carried up to 18 years old, whenever you got the policy in the first place.
Right.
Okay, that's not bad.
And truthfully,
per child or
no, based on your youngest.
oh, so it's based on the youngest child.
Yeah, it's based on your youngest. The way I like to look at it is like, if you were to die today or tomorrow, your youngest child is that age. Yeah, we will always say, well, my husband will take care of them, or my
But you want to make sure.
It's not even just about making sure. The reality is that your salary is missing. Your contribution to that child's life is missing.
Question for you. Do you guys do trust? Like, I know when people...
No.
Why?
Trust is a legal thing. We're not legal.
So y'all can't partner with some law firm to say, okay, when this $250,000 go out, I want to ensure some shitty individual isn't going to take advantage of my minor child and spend the money before they could get their hand on it.
Mm-mm.
So y'all just give the check to the child and
Pretty
be like,
much. And they actually
they
actually have to be 18 in order to get the check to begin with.
So if they're not 18 yet, you guys hold it
Mm-hmm.
in a special interest-bearing account.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So so there is some level of responsibility.
Yeah.
So and no one could say, okay, well, I am the mother, aunt of this child, and I am now their guardian.
Unless they are as the beneficiary, or if there was a will left behind, there's no way that they're going to get that money for that child until the child turns 18.
So let's just clarify. Let's just say that down. If you're not listed as a beneficiary, you cannot act on the behalf of a beneficiary.
No. And this is why at least for me, when I have that conversation with parents, I will always say, hey, mates, just for now, divide the beneficiary where someone over the age of 18, you can leave that a certain portion of your life insurance to that person until that child is 18, and someone that you respect. Because let's say, for instance, the policy is $100,000.
Right.
You don't have to leave that person $100,000.
Just leave them like 20.
Yeah, 20,000, maybe 30,000. I don't know, whatever. But
and they have to distribute that money to the child because
they don't have to. But
no. I'm not.
I have to. Let me put it like this: we niggas.
Hold on. I am not listing someone on my.
You stop them, you dead.
No. I am listing you there to hold in trust.
Yeah, but. Let me, what I've learned.
Tell them what you learned from the black folk down.
Being in the insurance industry and being a Bahamian and being a black person, we don't like to follow through on things.
So we don't follow on last wishes?
No, we don't.
We thief the property and take all the money and collect all the rent?
Now, a lawyer could come in here and deny that, but I more than likely believe a lawyer is going to agree with me on that. A lot of people.
A lot of dysfunction happens after a person dies.
Dysfunction happens, and so you have to really be. And I will always tell the person, you really need to trust that person, because even mothers, and I hate to say it, grandmothers, fuck around. I hate to say it, but they
take the money and run.
I've seen it happen before.
They take someone hard-earned money, their beneficiary, had kids, and take the money and ain't give it nothing.
I've seen it happen.
Which is why I think that guys should get in the trust business. If you can't personally do it because of some legislation.
Like, the average Bahamian doesn't know to say, okay, if someone doesn't follow through on what they should follow through, say, I'm going to take this person to court. Because what's going to happen?
We think the court system is expensive and jaded, and we can't afford it.
Exactly. So we need to educate our Bahamian populace more to know that
they have rights.
They have rights, because I've seen it happen a lot. And that's one of the dark sides of the business that not a lot of people talk about.
What's the highest hit job you've seen? Give me a number. Give me a number, man. Give me a number. Let me see how money is tempt people and don't allow the cops to get cold. Trust me, I've heard, seen, and experienced the dark side of this. I talk about property, bank accounts. They don't respect wills, changing wills and changing signatures, like literally taking a piece of paper and then holding the person hard right before they croak. Like Like
see, that's
the
why-
stories are wild.
And that's what it's crazy because I think sometimes you have to let people know, but then it's scary letting people know. Like your children, because children could do some shit too. It's scary, but like you still have to let people know, like, hey,
I'm fortunate. I have some really good people around me that I trust.
yeah, it's honestly disheartening sometimes. Like I said, I've seen a lot. Even just from my own personal experience, but even being in the industry, I've seen a lot of things.
Give me a number.
No.
What is 10 people, man? 50?
Dude, 50,000 is 10 people. 10,000 is 10 people. I think I came across a case maybe a few months ago where I think the policy was like maybe $10,000, and the family like
Fight.
They fight for $10,000,
No,
and that
man.
wasn't even enough to bury the human.
No, man. You know what? I think we have more that we could talk about. Like we just starting to get into the juice.
Yeah.
But we can pause on insurance for a second.
Okay.
Why people always late?
Why would you not lose me?
Why don't we respect people's time?
Nisi, where you is?
Nisi? Who Nisi? You talking to Goosey?
Lose me,
No.
my friend.
No. Why?
Because we black. And we
No.
In my defense, you know I'm never really late when it comes to you. Think about it. Let's go back on history.
Okay. I'll give you that.
So my apologies. My apologies.
So you want me to let you go on that day?
Please. Don't embarrass me in front of people. These people don't know me like that. Like, come on, man.
Okay. You know what? She's a good person. She's normally tardy. She normally won't blow you off. And because this conversation was actually decent, I'm going to bly her.
I love you.
Keep that. This has been another episode of the Full Gambit Podcast. Marissa, thank you for coming in. It's been great. You were natural in the front of the camera. Don't you ever let me hear you say you're scared of the camera again. How do people find you if they need insurance? And what's the best way to contact you?
So the best way to contact me is always via cell phone. My number is 376-6077.
Now,
But-
this is going on YouTube, so we do have some weirdos out there. So
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
that's a business number?
That's the business number.
Okay.
But I am the insurance girl. Well, insurance girl 242 on Instagram, Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. So any one of those social tags you can reach me on, and you can just call Jay, and Jay can.
Don't call me.
No.
Mm-mm.
Wow, this is powerful.
No. If you actually know me personally,
Then call Jay.
and you need some insurance, I know a few people. And Marissa is one of the first persons I will give you the contact.
Thank you.
You got my quotes? No. See? That's been an episode of the Full Gambit Podcast. I tried to give her business. I don't know.
Why you always gotta put me on the spot like that? Like I put
What is my name?
J. Michael Phoenix.
Thank you very much. This has been J. Michael Phoenix and the Insurance Girl 242. Bye.